Islam began in Arabia in the 7th century, when the Prophet Muhammad shared his message of faith, peace, and justice with his people. He taught that there is only one God, and that all believers are equal. At first, only a few people followed him, but his words touched hearts and minds deeply. They found hope in his teachings and kindness, and soon the new faith began to grow, in towns and desert communities. After Muhammad's death, his followers continued to spread his message across Arabia. They traveled to nearby lands, teaching others about prayer, charity, and respect for life, as part of their daily faith. Islam spread quickly through trade and travel. Merchants carried the message along routes that connected Arabia with Africa and Asia, sharing both goods and ideas with people from many different cultures and nations. The early Muslim leaders built strong communities based on fairness and learning. They encouraged education and discussion, and their cities became centers of knowledge for science, art, and philosophy. In the 8th century, Islam reached North Africa. It spread through Egypt, Libya, and Morocco, where people welcomed its message of unity. Mosques were built, and Arabic became a common language for trade and culture. From North Africa, Islam crossed into Spain. Muslim scholars brought new ideas in medicine, mathematics, and astronomy to Europe. Their cities, like Córdoba and Granada, became famous for beauty and wisdom. In the Middle East, great empires rose under Islamic rule, such as the Abbasids. They built libraries and schools, preserving ancient knowledge and creating new discoveries that shaped the world. Islam also reached Persia and Central Asia. There, it mixed with local traditions, creating rich art, poetry, and architecture that reflected both faith and culture in beautiful harmony. Through trade routes like the Silk Road, Muslim merchants traveled far eastward. They reached India, China, and Indonesia, bringing not only goods but also teachings of peace and compassion. In India, Islam met Hindu culture. Over time, both influenced each other, creating new styles of art and music, and inspiring great buildings like the Taj Mahal centuries later. In Africa, Islam spread southward. Through trade across the Sahara Desert, merchants and scholars shared the faith, with kingdoms like Mali and Songhai, where it became part of daily life. Cities such as Timbuktu became famous for their schools and libraries. Students came from far away to learn about religion, science, and literature under Muslim teachers and scholars. In East Africa, Islam arrived by sea. Traders from Arabia and Persia visited ports like Zanzibar and Mombasa, where they built mosques and shared their faith with local communities. Islam also reached Southeast Asia through peaceful trade and marriage. In places like Malaysia and Indonesia, people accepted the faith gradually and blended it with local customs. By the 13th century, Islam was global. It connected people from Africa to Asia. Through shared beliefs and cultural exchange, pilgrims traveled to Mecca each year to pray and meet others from afar. The pilgrimage, called the Hajj, became a symbol of unity and peace. It reminded Muslims that all are equal before God, no matter their race, language, or social position. Islamic art and architecture flourished. Beautiful mosques with domes and minarets appeared in cities across the world, decorated with patterns and calligraphy that expressed devotion and beauty. Muslim scholars studied the stars and medicine. They wrote books that influenced Europe. During the Renaissance centuries later, their curiosity and respect for learning helped shape modern science and thought. In the Ottoman Empire, Islam became a guiding force for culture and law. It united people from many lands under shared traditions of prayer, justice, and community service. The empire built great mosques and schools, and its leaders supported artists and poets. Faith inspired creativity and kindness, and people worked together to build a strong and peaceful society. Islam also reached Russia and Eastern Europe. Communities formed along trade routes, and mosques appeared in new regions, showing how faith could adapt and grow in different climates and cultures. In the 17th century, Islam continued to expand through exploration and trade. Sailors and scholars carried its message to islands and coastal towns worldwide, sharing stories of faith and wisdom. In the 18th and 19th centuries, Muslim reformers sought renewal and unity. They encouraged education and moral strength, hoping to guide their societies forward in a changing global world. Colonial times brought challenges to Muslims. Foreign powers ruled many lands, but faith remained a source of hope, an identity for people seeking freedom and justice in their communities. Islamic leaders promoted peace and dialogue. They reminded believers of compassion, charity, and respect for others, values that could unite people across nations and traditions. In the 20th century, Islam grew. In new parts of the world, immigrants brought their faith to Europe, America, and Australia, building mosques and sharing their culture peacefully. Muslim communities became part of modern cities and societies everywhere. They contributed to art, science, and trade, showing that faith and progress can live side by side. Islam also inspired movements for justice. Believers worked to help the poor, protect the environment, and promote peace, following the Prophet's example of kindness and responsibility. Education remained central to Islam. Schools and universities taught both religious and modern subjects, helping young people understand their faith and the wider world. Technology connected Muslims globally. Online learning and digital prayer apps made it easier to share knowledge and stay connected with communities across continents and cultures. Art and architecture continued to evolve. Modern mosques combine tradition with new materials and design, showing how faith can inspire beauty in every generation. Islam also encouraged dialogue between different religions and cultures. Many leaders worked together for peace, understanding that respect and friendship are part of true faith. In today's world, Islam is diverse. It includes many languages and traditions. From Africa to Asia and beyond, but all share the same belief in one God and compassion for all. Muslims celebrate festivals like Eid with family, food, and prayer. These moments remind them of gratitude, community, and the joy of giving to those in need. Islam's message of peace and mercy continues to guide millions of people. It teaches patience, honesty, and care for others, values that help build a better and kinder world. Through centuries of travel and change, Islam has touched every continent. Its followers have built schools, hospitals, and charities that serve both believers and non-believers alike. The faith remains strong and adaptable. It grows with time while keeping its heart of compassion and justice, reminding people to live with purpose and respect for others. From the deserts of Arabia to the cities of the modern world, Islam's journey shows how faith can unite people across borders and inspire hope through generations. Today, Islam continues to spread through kindness, education, and example. Its story is one of peace and learning, connecting hearts and cultures through centuries of shared humanity.